In the far west of the Old World, nestled between the mountains and the sea, there once was a paradise on earth. A land bathed in golden light, its name whispered on the wines of history, Al-Andalus. This was not merely a place, but an idea brought to life, a land of faith and boundless knowledge, where for centuries the call to prayer from minarets mingled with the peal of church bells and the chants from synagogues. Here, in cities like Cordoba, the heart of the Caliphate, the streets were paved and illuminated by lamps when the rest of Europe was cloaked in darkness. This was a civilization built on the pursuit of wisdom. In its grand libraries, scholars of every creed gathered, translating the ancient works of Greeks and Persians, preserving them for future generations. Muslims, Christians, and Jews lived and worked side by side, their collaboration sparking a renaissance of thought. In the fields of astronomy, they mapped the stars. In medicine, they pioneered surgical techniques. In mathematics, they introduced the concept of zero, unlocking new worlds of calculation. The architecture they left behind, in the breathtaking arches of the Great Mosque of Cordoba or the intricate courtyards of Seville's Alcazar, was a testament to their genius's symphony of geometry, water, and light. For 8 centuries, Al-Andalus shone like a brilliant star in the firmament of nations, a beacon of culture and tolerance. It was a time of poets and philosophers, of artists and artisans. The scent of jasmine and orange blossoms filled the air, and the gentle sounds of the oud drifted from tranquil gardens where fountains danced and whispered secrets. This was the Golden Age, a time when a single city, Cordoba, held over 70 libraries, boasting more books than all of the rest of Europe combined. It was a society that valued beauty and intellect, where a poem was as cherished as a conquest. But no earthly paradise is eternal. The seeds of discord, sown by ambition and division, began to sprout. The unity that had been the bedrock of its strength started to fracture. The great caliphate splintered into smaller, warring kingdoms, the taifas. Brother turned against brother, and the once impenetrable walls of their shared home began to weaken from within. The spirit of coexistence, la convivencia, frayed as suspicion replaced trust. The northern Christian kingdoms, sensing this weakness, began their relentless push southward, a campaign they called the Reconquista. One by one, the shining cities fell. Toledo, the city of translators, Valencia, the garden by the sea, Cordoba, the heart of the Caliphate. Each conquest chipped away at the soul of Al-Andalus. The fortresses that had once stood as symbols of strength became tombs of a fading dream. The libraries were plundered, their priceless manuscripts, repositories of centuries of human knowledge, reduced to ash and smoke. The dream that had been so carefully constructed over generations was dissolving into dust and memory. The final act of this long tragedy played out in Granada, the last jewel in the Andalusian crown. Sheltered by the Sierra Nevada mountains, the city was home to the magnificent Alhambra Palace, a fortress of ruby-red walls and heavenly interiors. Here, the Nasrid dynasty held on, a final flickering candle against a gathering storm. For a decade, they resisted, but the siege was unrelenting. Famine and despair gripped the city. The year was 1492. On a cold January morning, the last emir, Muhammad XII, known to the Spaniards as Boabdil, rode out from the gates of the Alhambra. He handed the silver keys of the city to King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. It is said that as he looked back one last time from a hill, he wept for all that was lost. His mother's words were a bitter epitaph. Do not weep like a woman for what you could not defend as a man. But Boabdil did not just surrender a kingdom that day. In that moment, a civilization died. The fall of Granada was not merely a political or military event. It was the end of an era, the closing of a chapter in human history. They said the land had returned to its rightful owners, but who truly owns the earth? Is it those who conquer it by the sword, or those who enrich it with knowledge, art, and a spirit of unity? The aftermath was brutal. The promises of tolerance were broken. Forced conversions, inquisitions, and expulsions followed. Books were burned in massive pyres, a desperate attempt to erase a culture from existence. Mosques were converted into churches, their minarets silenced. The souls who had called this land home for generations were exiled, scattered across the sea, taking with them only their memories and the keys to the homes they could never return to. Yet, can a spirit truly be extinguished? The legacy of Al-Andalus was too powerful to be erased. Its knowledge had already seeped into the soil of Europe, fueling the Renaissance that was to come. Its architectural wonders still stand, defiant against the passage of time. The Alhambra, under the golden light of a setting sun, still whispers its stories to the wind that moves through its elegant arches. The echoes of its poets can still be heard in the rustling leaves of its gardens. No one owns the land forever. Empires rise and fall like the tides. But those who build civilizations of light, those who champion knowledge over ignorance, unity over division, and beauty over brutality, they never truly die. Their spirit lives on in the art they created, the science they advanced, and the timeless idea that different peoples can, and did, create a paradise together. Al-Andalus fell, but its soul still breathes. It remains a poignant, beautiful memory of what humanity can achieve, and a solemn warning of how easily it can be lost. Thanks for watching.